Hey, I'm gonna make a video today. Out here, it's getting pretty warm, pretty nice some days. Some days it's still cold, but it's just about time to plant. Got the garden tilled up. I didn't make a video on that, but anyway, boring stuff. So I'll make a video on this boring stuff, cutting up some potatoes. Getting ready to plant using the Gerber Strong Arm, because why not? Train how you fight. And if it won't cut potatoes, I don't want to fight with it. So anyway, with that being said, this is new. This is the Alien Gear chest holster, which is made kind of like the Gunfighters Inc. Kenai, I think it's called. I thought about getting one of those, but then I just decided to go ahead with Alien Gear and give that a try. So far, it's pretty comfortable. We'll see how it holds up and all that stuff. But anyway, with all the coronavirus going on and everybody losing their mind, zombies are coming. One of my favorite shows is The Walking Dead. I started watching around season 2 and then went back and caught up on season 1 and has watched every episode since. And it's still very disappointing that Rick's gone, but they're doing a good job with Judith's character right now. And Negan is still Negan, which is cool. And anyway, one of my favorite episodes, really just the beginning of the episode, but it was good. Season 4, the opening few minutes when that season they had a big flu outbreak. Go figure. But they had Rick coming out in the beginning, washed his face with some water out of a barrel from rain catchment. Went out, put some earbuds in, and started gardening. Which one thing I think it was so cool is because he was listening to bluegrass, which is my favorite music, which I play. And to top that off, he was listening to some of my favorites that play it. The Stanley Brothers and Ralph Stanley, they've always been my favorite. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, go check it out, or if it's been a while since you've seen it, go listen to it again. But anyway, the point being is he just came out, normal day-to-day stuff. Which, granted, in the zombie apocalypse, you're not going to work and out in public and shopping and all to begin with. But he just came out, washed his face, and started working in the garden. Regardless of what's going on, you have to eat. And he wasn't out scrounging for toilet paper. Though they never have addressed exactly what they did for a lack of toilet paper, but I guess that's beside the point again. Anyway, he's just out there listening to some music, doing some gardening. Camera pans around, he finds an old gun in the garden, and he threw it away, which I would have kept it, especially in that circumstance. But pulls one earbud out, then he hears the zombies, and he looks over, and there's a ton of zombies at the gate, at the fence, you know, growling, clawing, and doing zombie things. Some people like Mike at Asymmetrical Preparedness, he says do the things. Bear Independent says it. I think Viking Preparedness, Pastor Joe said it a time or two. But I'm going to change that. Do zombie things. But anyway, regardless of what's going on in the world, keep a calm and level head. It doesn't matter if, you know, they're going to drop a nuke at 12 o'clock tomorrow. What can you do to change it? Well, if you're like me, you can't do very much about what's going on, but you can control what you do. Just get out there, keep a level, calm head, do what you need to do to prepare. If you don't have a garden, start one. If you don't have a place, for a garden, maybe you live in an apartment, I don't know. I've always lived in the country, so I have never had that problem. But if you do live in an apartment, I believe, you should have a window, and you can, do some window gardening, grow a few tomatoes or something in the window. And if not, they make some kind of plant kits that grow indoors that you don't, you can do that. Cashed in some of my battle box rewards and got this cool cup. I don't know how long it'll stay white, but we'll see. Other than that, it's good. But anyway, worry about food and water. Get that situated. And of course, if you don't have, a way to protect yourself, a gun or something like that, I would try to get one. Because regardless of where you live, it's going to get worse. And if people are fighting over toilet paper, they'll kick your door down for your food and, whatever else you might have, medicine and anything that they think you got that they want. And I really hope they get it under control before they bring out martial law, because that's when things are really going to get bad. Nobody behaves under martial law. And they're talking about these quarantines and stuff like that, and people working from home. I work in the woods logging, and you can't work from home doing that. But so far, we've still been working. We have a small crew. It's only like 3 or 4 people on it. So far, the wood yard's still been buying, so we've been at it. Got to replenish that toilet paper everybody bought. But anyway, stuff like that. The farmers, police, fire, hospital workers, all that stuff, nobody can work from home. The post office, people carry the mail. You can't work from home doing that. Some things have to get done, like the fuel delivery, propane, gas, diesel fuel, all that stuff. Somebody's got to do that, or the world stops. And it's pretty much as simple as that. But anyway, want to work on getting some potatoes planted, and it won't be long, probably Good Friday or after Easter, somewhere along in there, and get some other stuff planted if it go ahead and warm up, which I wish it would, because I really hate the cold weather. I'm not a cold weather person. But another thing with this whole coronavirus pandemic end of the world, I haven't heard any preppers that I listen to or watch on YouTube and things like that talk about being the gray man anymore. When stuff really goes down, when it gets bad, there is no gray man. It doesn't exist. If you're out there, you're noticed. And with everybody running around like a chicken with their head cut off, it doesn't matter if they notice you or not. If they get crazy and they get panicked, they're just going to start punching or shooting or stabbing or whatever is the closest thing to them. It don't matter if they notice you or know who you are or not. It just happens. It's like Lion King. Yeah, let's go to Lion King. When Scar lured Simba out in front in that valley where he should have known that shouldn't be there. He wasn't situationally aware, you know, knowing Scar was not a good person or lion. But he was out there, wide open with no protection. And then the stampede happens. And of course, the stampede can represent all the people going crazy and riots and whatever else, you know, in line to get food, and you're in the way, you get trampled. But of course, Simba didn't get trampled because, you know, Mufasa came to the rescue. But you might not have a Mufasa come to the rescue, or even if you do, that would still be a bad situation. But, you know, try to avoid going where you shouldn't go. I live out in the country again, with the whole gray man thing. I was going to make a video on this a while back, but I'll just tie it into this. But like where I live, there is no gray man. It doesn't exist. Nobody can be one. I don't care if you move here from somewhere else. We notice you. I live in a small town, one stoplight. Everybody knows you since before you were born. While you're still in the womb, they know, you know, you're so-and-so's kid. And that's all you're ever going to be, really. It doesn't matter what you go or what you do. If somebody don't know you personally, oh, well, who is that? Oh, that's so-and-so kid. Oh, all right. Yeah, I remember. It's not going to work. Even if you move here from somewhere else, we might not know your name, but we recognize you. You know, that's the new guy. The new family moved in. All that type of stuff. Everybody kind of has, you know, the majority of people know where each other's lives, and even if they don't, most of the time they have an idea, you know, within 10 miles, 5 miles, 15 miles, anywhere along in there. But that kind of stuff. And everybody around here, you know, knows who into what. You know, who's the farmers, who's the ones, you know, usually growing stuff. In the summertime, who do you see going up and down the road on the tractors? You know, they're farmers, you know, they got food. And, you know, who's the gun guys, you know, who's into hunting, who's into shooting, all that type of stuff, you know, all that kind of stuff. You usually know people by where they work, you know. Oh, they work here and they work there. Everybody knows each other is basically what I'm getting at. And even if you don't, you know enough about people to get a general idea. You know who you can trust and who you probably can't trust. When things really come down to it, out in the country, or, you know, I guess you could in the city too, in small areas, that if you know each other good enough, even if you haven't got a mag or a prepper group established, you can get one going pretty quick by knowing who your neighbors are, who you can trust, who does what, who knows how to grow food. You know, a lot of people around here knows how to knit, who can, you know, knit blankets and whatever you need and stuff like that. Some of us work on guns, you know, who knows how to fix guns and, you know, taking parts and making something, things like that. I know how to weld, stuff like that, which can be very helpful, you know. Of course, some people say that if you don't have electricity, you can't weld, and I guess that's true, but, you know, right now we still have generators, and it's a lot easier to find a little bit of gas for some generators than it would be gas for cars to go, you know, 50 miles. But again, the generator we have a portable welder on a service truck, so it's gas powered. You know, just put some gas in, you got a generator and a welder. And even if it doesn't, you know, work forever. It's nice while you got it. When things really get sideways, anything you got to help you will be, you know, worth its weight or more than gold. And this might be a long video. I'm going off on a rant, I guess. But anyway, people buying things for barter, for, you know, SHTF. Put yourself in that position. If you were somebody that had food or shelter or guns and ammo, anything somebody might be wanting, when the grid goes down, everything's collapsed, everything is, you know, a lot of stuff's probably going to be on fire from riots and everything like that. But when the world's burning, are you going to take gold for essential things that you actually need and you can actually use? What are you going to use the gold for? Unless, you know, oh, it's the apocalypse this week, but next week everything's going back to normal. Well, if things look that good, people are not going to be trading $1,000 worth of gold for a loaf of bread, and next week you're sitting pretty. If it's that bad, and in a couple of weeks everything's going back to normal, they'll just ride it out and keep the gold. But anyway, that's my thoughts. See ya.